Hi everyone, welcome to Skill Questers Hub. In this video, we will explore IPython Magic Commands in Jupyter Notebook. Magic commands are built-in commands that provide additional functionality beyond the normal Python commands. The magic commands are prefixed with % or $%. Let us explore the magic command %loadpy. So %loadpy is a IPython magic command used to load the contents of a Python script to a notebook cell. Okay, it reads the source code from the specified Python file and inserts it into the current cell. Okay, so if you have an existing Python file and you want to reuse or edit that code of that existing file in the notebook, you can use this loadpy magic command. Okay, so this is the command %loadpy and then the name of the Python file. We have the Python file myscript.py. Okay, so myscript.py. Let me open this file. So for this example, we have a existing Python file myscript.py and this is the code that is present here. So now we are using the magic command %loadpy to load the contents of the Python file myscript.py into this notebook cell. Okay, so let's run it. So I'm pressing Shift Enter to run it. So now this has loaded the contents of the Python file myscript.py into this notebook cell. Okay. So the same contents of the Python file myscript.py is loaded here. So now we can edit this text or execute it. So let's run this. Here in the code, we have a greet function which prints hello world and we are calling this function. So this prints the statement hello world. Okay. So we can use the IPython magic command %loadpy to load the contents of a Python script into a notebook cell. Next, let's explore the IPython magic command %notebook. So %notebook is a IPython magic command used to export the input history of the current IPython session to a Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so it saves the commands and code cells that have been executed during this current session. Okay, so let's see that. So this is the command %notebook and we can specify the name of the notebook. And this should have the extension .ipynb. So we have this command %notebook and the name of the notebook file. So let's run this. Okay. Now if you go to the location, we'll have the notebook file, my notebook created here. So let's open this. Okay. So here you can see the commands that were executed being saved here in the notebook file. Okay, so these were the commands that we executed earlier in this session. Loadpy, and the contents we have executed it twice. So that data is being saved into a notebook. Okay, so we can use this command %notebook to save all the commands that we have executed into this particular notebook session in a new notebook. Okay. Next, let's explore the command %pastebin. So %pastebin is a IPython magic command used to upload code from the input history to an online pastebin service. So when we execute this code of the command %pastebin, it will create a shareable URL containing the selected code. Okay, so whatever code we have executed previously in this notebook session will be uploaded to a pastebin service and we'll get a URL of that service when we run this code. Okay, so let's see that. Let me run this. Okay, so here, so now the code will be uploaded to a pastebin service and the URL of that pastebin service is being listed here. Okay, so let's open this URL. Okay, here you can see all the commands that we had executed earlier in the session with loadpy and the code, then the notebook, %notebook command. Okay, so all this gets saved into a pastebin service URL. Okay, so we can use this command %pastebin to upload the code that we have executed into a pastebin service, and later this URL that we have can be shared among others for sharing the code snippets. Okay. So next, let's explore the magic command %set_env. So %set_env is a IPython magic command used to set environmental variables for the current session. Okay. So we have a set of existing environmental variables set for the current session. So along with that, we can also add new environmental variables to the session. Okay, so let's see that. So here we have the command %set_env, and we are creating an environmental variable, my variable, with the value hello world in it. Okay, so before running this command, let's check all the environmental variables that are existing. So for that, you can run the command %env. So let's run this. Okay, so this lists all the environmental variables that we have in this current session. Now let's run the set_env command, and we will set the variable, my variable, with the value hello world. So let's run this. Okay, so now it has been set. So now if you want to view this particular variable, we can use this code to access the value of that variable, my variable, which we have created. So let's run this. So now the value of the variable, my variable, is printed. Also in %env, we didn't have the variable, my variable, which we created now listed here. It will be listed at the end. Okay, so we don't have that. So now as we have set the variable, if you rerun %env, the new variable will also be listed. Okay, so let's rerun this. Okay, so now you have the environmental variable, my variable, which is listed here along with the value hello world. Okay, so we can use the IPython magic command %set_env to set an environmental variable for the current notebook session. Okay. Next, let's explore the IPython magic command %GUI. So %GUI is an IPython magic command used to enable integration between IPython and a GUI event loop. Okay, so this command will integrate the IPython notebook with the GUI. Okay, so we have some of the commonly used GUI toolkits: tkinter, pyqt, pyside, gtk. Okay, so among these, let's see the example of pyqt. Okay, so first we need to install the GUI toolkit, which we are going to integrate. So here we'll install pyqt5. So this is the command. We'll install it with the magic command %pip. So %pip install pyqt5. Okay, so let's run this command to install pyqt5. Okay, so now we have successfully installed pyqt5. Okay, now we need to use the IPython magic command %GUI to integrate IPython with the qt5. Okay, so for that, run the command %GUI qt. So let's run this. Okay, so after that, so below I have this piece of code which will print the text hello qt, which will display a label with the text hello qt, and the other font and the size is also displayed. So we can run this command to display the label in the GUI. Okay, so let's run this command. So here a GUI comes up. Okay, and it displays the text hello qt. So this is how you can use the IPython magic command %GUI to integrate a GUI with the IPython. Okay. Next, let's explore the magic command %logstate. So %logstate is an IPython Magic command used to display the current status of session logging. Okay, it shows whether logging is enabled or disabled. It provides the information about the log file, whether it is being used or not, and the logging mode. Okay, so let's see that. So let's run the command %logstate. So this says logging has not been activated. Okay, which means logging is not enabled for this notebook session. Okay, so using the command %logstate, we can check the current status of the session logging. And we can use logstart, logstop, logoff, and logon along with this logstate. Next, let's explore the magic command %logstart. So %logstart is an IPython magic command used to start logging the current session to a file. Okay, so this records the commands that we have executed during the session and saves them to a specified log file. We can specify a name of the log file and it will log the data to that file. Okay, so this is the command %logstart and we are specifying a log file. It should be a Python file, so .py. So we are creating a file mylog.py. So this is the command. Let's run this. Okay, so this says that the logging is enabled. Here you can see the state which is active. Okay, so logging is enabled for the session and the logging is saved in the log file mylog.py. Let's check that. So let's go to the current location. So here we have the file mylog.py. So let's open it. Okay, so here you can see the log history of all the commands that we had executed from the first command load and then the other commands that we have executed. Everything is getting logged here. Okay. Okay, we can also check the log state now. So the earlier magic command %log state that we had run, we can also recheck here. So now it will show that the state is active. So let's run it. So here you can see that the state is active and the logging file name is mylog.py. Okay. So this is how we can use the magic command %logstart to start logging the current session to a file. Next, let's explore the magic command %logstop. So %logstop is an IPython magic command used to stop the current logging session. So it terminates the logging that we had previously started using the command %logstart. Okay, so this will stop it. So first let's check the log state. So currently it is active and the file where the logging is done is mylog.py. Now let's run the command %logstop. Okay, so we have run it. Now run %logstate. So now you see logging has not been activated. So this stops the logging that we had done earlier. Okay. So the logging is stopped, but we'll still have the file mylog.py which we created earlier, but the logging data will not get updated. Okay, so let's check that. So here we have mylog.py still. Let's open it. So here we see the command logstop which was run. Okay. Now if I run logstate again, this will not get updated into the logging file. So let's check that mylog.py. Okay, so let me refresh this now. Okay, so here we can see that the last command that was logged is logstop, not the recent command that we have run logstate. Okay, so once we stop the logging using logstop, the log file does not get updated. Okay, so we can use the command %logstop to stop the current logging session. Next, let's explore the command %logoff. %logoff is an IPython magic command used to temporarily suspend logging without completely stopping the logging session. Okay, so this will temporarily stop the logging. Okay, so this is useful if you want to exclude certain commands from being recorded, and later we can also resume the logging. Okay, so let's see that. So first let's run the command %logoff. Okay, so this says logging hasn't started yet. Okay, so since we had run logstop, the logging was stopped. Okay, and if you want to relog it, we need to run the command %logstart mylog.py, which we had run earlier to start the logging. So let's run this. So now the state is active. Let's also check the mylog file. Okay, so now we can see that the logging is resumed. So logstart was the command that we had last executed. So that is being logged here. Now let's run the command %logoff. Okay, so now we have temporarily switched the logging off. Now let's refresh the file again. So this has logged the command logoff, which we had run last. Okay, now let's run the command %logstate. So this gives the state temporarily suspended. Now let's refresh the mylog.py file. Okay, now since we have temporarily logged off the logging, we have stopped the logging. We don't see the last command logstart being logged here. Okay, so we can use the command %logoff to temporarily stop the logging in a current logging session. Next, let's explore the magic command %logon. So %logon is an IPython magic command used to resume logging after it has been temporarily turned off. Okay, so now we have temporarily turned off using %logoff. So we can use the command %logon to resume the logging. So this reactivates the existing logging session without creating a new log file. Okay, so let's run the command %logon. So switching logging on. So logging is on now. Okay, now let's run the command %logstate to check the logging state. So now you see the state is active. So now let's go to the log file, refresh it. Okay, now we'll see that the logging is back to normal. It has been resumed and the last command logstate is being logged here. Okay, so this is how you can use the command %logon to resume the logging which was temporarily stopped. I have also prepared a reference guide with the commands that we have discussed in this video. You can also refer that. I will be sharing the link to this reference guide in the description. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel.